Okay, let's talk a little bit about knife draw now, okay, combative knife draw. Obviously, the thing that we prefer to carry is a fixed blade knife. Fixed blade knife, there's much less going on, right? You don't have to manipulate the blade, you don't have to pull it out of a pocket, you just grab the sheath. I'll give you an example of a fixed blade knife that I prefer to carry is my gouge. Obviously, it sits in the watch pocket of your jeans, and it's a short blade, okay? It's a very short blade. This is the one that I gave to Craig Douglas when he came up here and gave me a clinch pick. So yeah, this is primarily what I would carry, and I do carry, all right, is the gouge. But let's talk about folders, because a lot of people use and keep folders and all that stuff. So yes, fixed blades are preferred over folding knives. However, a lot of people won't carry them because unless it's a diminutive knife like that, they tend to be a little bit big and raise eyebrows. So the knife I'll use for this demonstration is my old CQC7. I prefer a tip down design, okay, as opposed to a tip up design. The way that I'm gonna show you to draw this is having to do with being under duress, okay? So everything's a physical index and everything kind of comes off of you being able to do it when you're really, really nervous, okay? So the very first thing that you want to do is when you approach your pocket, you want to slide the thumb as far back behind the blade as you can, all right? So you're jamming that down just like this, all right? Once I've got that, I can feel the clip here on my pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not pinch it. I'm actually going to take my finger to the bottom of the clip, because if I pinch it, it makes it harder to come out of the material. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pull it straight up, and I'm going to go right to my hip bone. So I'm going to pull it up, boom, and then I'm going to roll it over. So all I'm doing is, if you can zoom in on that, all I'm doing is pulling it straight up and then rolling it over. So the knife never comes out of my hand. I'm not flipping it. I'm not doing anything like that. Once I've got that position here, all I'm going to do is like shoot a marble, okay? So I'm just doing that. And then the last movement is to flip the knife over into my Saber Grip. So again, the whole idea of this is to be able to do this while you're getting beat on. Okay, so the knife comes up, boom, opens, and then it's prepared to go forward. I'm opening always, well, not always, but most of the time in the reverse guard. So if someone's beating on me, because this is the defensive use of the knife, like we've been talking about, I want to not have my draw fouled. If I draw forward like this, then a guy could get on my hand, get on my arm, and prevent me from bringing the knife into play. Okay, so there may be an opportunity where I have to guard, right, use my spearing elbow to keep distance away, or fend, or block, or do whatever while I get this out. Now, once I get this out, because we're talking about defensive use of the knife, I'm gonna step back into the forward guard, all right? So once I've got it out, I'm doing this. So now I took a step back to put my lead foot forward so that I can immediately start going to work if I needed to, okay? This has been the topic of great discussion on our Facebook Live pages about the defensive and offensive use of the knife. I think those of you who agree with our philosophy understand what we're talking about. When you go on the attack with a knife, attack is synonymous with offense. What we're talking about is the defensive use of the knife. In other words, I'm going to control this area immediately surrounding me, an arm's length away, maybe an arm length and a half, or arm length, 2 arm length away, and I'm just not going to let you inside there because I don't want the knife encounter. This isn't fucking Tommy Lee Jones and Steven Seagal in a speeding fucking train, right? I mean, this would be a real life situation where there's consequence. Consequence to your actions, consequence to everything that's going on, okay? Or consequence to your inaction too, I might say. So again, we're here. All I'm doing again is jamming my thumb directly behind the blade, lifting up to my hip, controlling it, turning it over, shoot the marble, and then step back into forward guard. So now I can go to work. Okay, that's just a little bit of a primer on how to open a folding knife for defensive use.